Are you looking to play your wildcard ahead of double game week 25? Then here is the best possible draft you can build. Let's get into it.
Yo, listen up, Rue is stepping up the game, where fantasy Premier League runs in his veins. From transfers to captains, he's always on top, guiding you through every game week non-stop. They say Rue got that Salah flow. Welcome to the channel, enjoy the show. Wildcards, free hits with so much vibe. If you're hunting for success, then make sure you subscribe.
Good day, mate. Welcome back to the channel. I'm FPL Roo and welcome back to another FPL video. So like I said in today's video, we're going to be going through the best possible wildcard draft you can build ahead of double game week 25. So obviously this is a double game week. Brentford, Man City, Liverpool and Luton will be doubling. So I think this wildcard is going to be heavily, influenced by loading up on players from them teams. Obviously, if you do play your wildcard in this week, you won't be able to play any other chip, as only one chip per game week is allowed to be played. So that is something to take into consideration if you do really want to triple captain Haaland. However, I definitely think there's more benefits to playing your wildcard than using a triple captain chip, obviously if your team needs it. We'll start off in goal. So Kaminski comes in as the double game week goalkeeper. I think he probably is the best goalkeeper going forward now, because obviously Luton have a few double game weeks for the rest of the season, and they also potentially could play in game week 29. So I think Kaminski does look really good to have him in. Obviously Man United at home, Liverpool away in the first game of the next game week. So game week 25. The reason I've gone for him, like I said, is he plays in a couple of doubles. He plays doubles in 28. He potentially could play in 29. And obviously doubles in 25. Also, I can get Areola as a partner for him, because Areola is guaranteed to play in 29 and he plays in 26. So it works out a really nice rotation. Obviously, Areola just conceded 6 goals, so maybe not the best goalkeeper to go for it in a minute, but I think West Ham can actually pull their form around and get a few results, as they have some really nice fixtures coming up. For defence, it was a tough one, because obviously Trent has a bit of a knock. He came off as a kind of precautionary. He felt something in his knee. So for me, that's enough for me not to have him in this wildcard draft. I've gone for Virgil van Dijk instead. Obviously not as attacking as Trent, but I think Virgil can pop up with a bullet header. And you got two chances of that happening, obviously, because it's a double game week. And I do fancy, I do fancy Liverpool to keep a clean sheet in at least one of these games. So I think Virgil's a good option, and you can bench him next game week as well, which obviously is a blank for Liverpool and Luton. Next up, Doughty. So again, the same fixtures as Kaminski. Double Luton defence is not ideal, but I think Doughty is very attacking. Man United at home, Liverpool away, again, not the best fixtures, but he is so attacking. So he can always pop up with an assist or even a goal. And who knows, Luton could potentially keep a clean sheet against Man United at home. I can't see it, but even with if he just doesn't concede a lot, 4 points, I can't really argue with that, to be honest. Pinnock is my next choice, so another double game week defender. Again, fixtures are terrible. There is an argument to say maybe someone like Gabriel is better, because of they've got Burnley away, Arsenal, and obviously he's an attacking threat. But for me, Pinnock does offer a lot more than just this game week. So yes, this game week is terrible, but he plays in 26. He plays in 29 as well. So he's guaranteed to play in both them blanks. And for me, I just want someone in my team that is guaranteed starter for both of them blank game weeks, especially now that the wild card is gone. Obviously, if you're playing it this week, you won't have it again. So especially as the wild card is gone, I think you're going to need players that are kind of guaranteed to play in the blank game weeks coming up. So for me, Pinnock is a really, strong member of this and strong squad member of this team. On the bench defensively, I've gone for Kufal. Again, they've just conceded 6 goals, so not ideal. But West Ham actually have some really good fixtures in the blank game week, so that's why I have gone for them. In game week 26, they've got Brentford at home. Again, it's hard to say this after just being battered, but it's not a bad fixture for West Ham. And then game week 28, they play Burnley at home, and then 29, they play Aston Villa. So, yeah, not the best, but they have got really, really nice fixtures kind of up until game week 30, and potentially you could need a West Ham defender, and Kufau is very attacking. But for me, it's kind of focusing on that game week 29 fixture, albeit it's against Aston Villa, which is not the easiest team to play. But yeah, for me, I think Kufau can be a good, I guess, rotation option. Also gone for Pau Torres. So ideally, I'd want Moreno, but Luca Dean has come back from injury now, so that is competition for him. Pau Torres actually hasn't played a game yet in the league since he's come back from injury, so this is a little bit premature, but I don't think I'd need him until game week 26, and hopefully he'll play game week 25 and get a few minutes under his belt. Also, Forest at home for Villa in game week 26, where there's a blank game week, which is really, really good. And then in 29, they've got West Ham away. So, yeah, for me, Villa are key players for that little run in between game week 26 and 29. Let's move on to the midfield. For the midfield with this wildcard draft, I think it is very, very important to really, really attack the Man City and Liverpool players. For that reason, I have gone for De Bruyne and Foden. I think it's so important to go for both because other people that are not on a wild card are going to struggle to get De Bruyne in, and because you are on a wild card, you kind of have that luxury of getting him in and not having to kind of worry about it for at least a couple game weeks, I'd say, or even after the double. And to be honest, even if De Bruyne doesn't play both games, you know he's going to play one. You know he's going to come off the bench, and we know how good he can be off the bench. For example, in game week 24, he came off the bench, got an assist. In his first game week back, game week 21, he came off the bench, got a goal and an assist. So 4 assists, 1 goal so far since he's been back. And for me, I think it's a really, really nice move to be able to bring in De Bruyne and Foden. Obviously, if you can't afford both, I know some people's money is a bit tight or a bit different to what I'm building this draft, but I think I can afford it, and my team value is not great, but if you can't afford it, then I probably prioritise going for Foden just because he is only 8 million and he's still delivering even with De Bruyne back in the team. He can play on the right, play through the middle, play through the left. 8 goals, 7 assists this season. Is 21 starts. He's having a really, really good season. Yes, there was a bit of, a bit of hate on him earlier on in the season where he never really stepped up, I'd say, when De Bruyne was injured. But since, to be honest, the whole season, if you look at it now, he has really stepped up. And for me, for 8 million to have someone that is so crucial to the world champions, I think it's an absolute bargain. So that's why I've gone for both in this draft. Diego Jota fits in from Liverpool. I've already mentioned Liverpool's fixtures, so I won't go through it again. But there obviously is an argument to maybe go for someone like Diaz or Gakpo. For me, Gakpo is not first choice right now, so I'd probably rule out Gakpo. Diaz, there's always an argument whether Diaz can be an FPL option. For me, though, I'm not saying anything about him as a footballer. I think he's an incredible footballer. I think he's so attacking. He takes on defenders. He's so exciting to watch. But for me, as an FPL option, I just don't think I won't say does enough in front of goal, but is not that typical goal scorer that you want from your FPL players. And for me, that's what I want. And I think Jota is that to a T. He doesn't get many chances, but when he does, he puts them away. And for me, that's what I want in someone in my team, someone that is clinical, can score left, right, headed goals. This season, he's only started 12 games. He's got 9 goals and 5 assists, so 14 returns in 12 games. For me, that is ridiculous. And he is a massive, massive captain option for this game week. But I have got my vice captain on him for this wildcard draft. Who makes up the full spot in midfield? I've gone for Garnacho. So obviously by having De Bruyne and Foden, you kind of have to make up a bit of money. And I think Garnacho is a nice player that is 4.7 million. Well, it might be gone up now. I think he's about 4.9 million. Man United have Luton away. Even after that, they've got Fulham at home in 26 in the blank. Then they run into Man City away, but you probably want to take him out ahead of game week 29 because I don't think Man United will end up having a fixture in that game week. But for at least the next 2 game weeks, I think he's a really, really nice option for a very, very cheap price. Almost one of the cheapest, I guess, midfielders in the league. For a starting midfielder, you're looking about 4.4, 4.5. So for another 0.5, you're getting Man United's right winger. And for me, I think that's a real, real nice bargain. On the bench, Leon Bailey, 5.6 million. So this season, he's kind of gone under the radar as well. The RB's come in, lit the Premier League alight his first few weeks. Like Bailey weren't really getting the team. And then kind of towards, I'd say, game week 14, Bailey's starting to get his place back and starting to deliver 7 goals, 7 assists in 11 starts. Ridiculous. 14 returns and 11 starts. Yes, he's not going to be playing this game week, but he's going to be very, very good for the blank game weeks. Like I said, with João Pedro and with João Pau Torres, Forest at home, and then they've got West Ham away. So I think Leon Bailey can be a very, very nice pick for this wildcard draft, and it kind of future proofs you for game week 29, where obviously you're playing your wildcard, so you don't have that luxury to maybe play it in game week 27, etc., etc. Let's move on to the forwards now. So for the forwards, probably the 3 forwards that most people will have in their teams anyway. Ollie Watkins to talk about first. So yeah, it was tough not to go Ivan Toney because obviously he does have a double. He plays in 29 as well. But for me, I think Watkins, I'm going to want him way before 29. I'm going to want him for Luton away, Forest at home, and even Fulham away in 25. I think is a really good fixture for Watkins. So for me, although Toney could be a very nice option and it does save you a bit of money, I just think Watkins just edges him, even though Toney does have that extra fixture. 11 goals, 14 assists for Watkins this season. For me, he's having an incredible season, and I think Villa's fixtures do look really nice coming up. Like I said, Fulham away, Forest at home, Luton away. They're just too good for me to not have Watkins in this team. But I do think Toney is a good option if you did want to go for someone that's a bit differential. Darwin Núñez comes into this team, 7.6 million. Again, Brentford away, Luton at home, but obviously he does blank in 26. So that could be a bit of a sticky situation. But we'll talk about game weeks 26, 7, 8, and 9 in this video as well. So definitely keep staying tuned for that. But yeah, Darwin is a threat. He causes chaos, as everyone likes to say. And to be honest, I think he should start at least one game. And to be honest, I probably think he'll start both. But yeah, I guess it all depends on if Salah's back, etc., etc. But yeah, really exciting to have him in this wildcard draft. And obviously Haaland, captain. I won't spend too much time on Haaland, as I'm sure a lot of people are bored of him already after coming back from injury. But yeah, the one thing to talk about is if you are playing your wildcard, you can't play your free hit. I mean, you can't play your free hit. You can't play your triple captain. So you are missing out on that. But for me, I think this wildcard can be more valuable than your triple captain. You're loading up on City, loading up on Liverpool, future-proofing yourself for the blanks and doubles coming up. For me, I'd probably prefer doing it this way if your team needed it. Obviously, if your team looks similar to this, maybe you've got one of Foden and De Bruyne, you've got Jota, you've got Haaland, you've got a Liverpool defender, and I probably won't be stressing too much about wildcarding. However, if it looks nothing like this, then I think it could be a nice way to set up for the future game weeks and kind of disregard that triple captain to a bit later, because there will be more double game weeks. Solanke has a really good double game week in game week 27, which you can potentially use it on. Also, Haaland should have a one in game week 37, but there's always a risk that City have won the league by then, so the fixtures will be non-critical. So who knows whether he will start or not. But for now, this is the best wildcard draft that I've been able to build. Attacking Man City's forwards, forgetting about their rotation defensively, going for Virgil over Trent because it's a safer option. He should start both games. He's a threat from set pieces, and then going for someone like Watkins and Garnacho, who have good fixtures coming up. So yeah, let me know what you think of this draft. But now we'll move on to what the team is going to look like for game weeks 26, 7, 8, and 9, which I think is very, very crucial to why I've picked this wildcard draft. So now I just really, really wanted to go through game weeks 26, 7, 8, and 9, because I think it's really, really crucial when I'm giving you a wildcard draft to kind of explain to you why I've picked these players later on down the line and actually show you what the team will look like. Just a caveat though, obviously things do change in FPL and obviously some of these transfers might not stay the same as the weeks come by. But this is the plan, I guess, if you were going to play the wild card, on what ideally would happen. So your team does look very, very strong for game week 28. You've got Areola, Brentford at home. You've got kind of double West Ham defence, which, to be honest, is not ideal, but especially after they've just conceded 6. But yeah, that's how it is, I guess. Pau Torres, Forest at home, and then Pinnock with West Ham away. Again, not ideal, but for me, I think West Ham's fixtures do look good coming up, so that's why I've gone for their players. Leon Bailey plays Forest at home as well, so you got a lot of Villa and West Ham, which could be a problem considering West Ham just got beat 6-0 and Aston Villa just got beat by Man United and got knocked out by Chelsea in the FA Cup, etc. But I guess that's why you're bringing them in, because both teams are going to play in game week 29. So yeah, that's probably the main reason. Foden and De Bruyne have Bournemouth away, so good fixture for them. Garnacho, Fulham at home, and then obviously Watkins, Forest at home, and Haaland with Bournemouth away. So for me, the team does look very strong for blank game week 26. You've got your 2 Luton players on the bench, so Doughty and Kaminsky in goal. And you've also got Virgil and Darwin Núñez. So the transfer was this game week was to do Jota to Bowen. Obviously, this doesn't have to be Bowen, but it can be someone like a Son if you can afford him, a Richarlison. I think you really do want to go for a West Ham or a Spurs midfielder. It could be Kudos, etc., because they do play in game week 29. So that's going to be the goal up until then, is get players in for game week 29. Also get players in for Bournemouth and Luton's double game week in game week 28. You've got 2 Luton already, so really you don't need to stress about that. You probably need to get Solanke in for definite, and then maybe, if you can, one more Bournemouth midfielder, defender, etc. But for me, I don't think Bournemouth have any midfielders that I do want to go for. So really, in midfield, your target is to get as many Spurs and potentially West Ham midfielders as possible. Let's get on to game week 27. So for game week 27, Areola does keep the goalkeeper spot, and Kufal does end up standing in defence, so double defence for West Ham against Everton away. Virgil, Forest away, Pau Torres, Luton away, Bailey, Luton away, and then Man United at home for De Bruyne, Foden, and then Bowen, Everton away, and then Darwin Núñez comes back into the first team with Forest away, Watkins, Luton away, Haaland with Man United at home. So this game week, you could potentially do a Man City midfielder to a Spurs midfielder, but Spurs actually don't have that great, I guess, of a fixture. It's not too bad, to be honest. It's not one of the toughest games, but I'm not too sure you want to bring them in this early. Maybe next week could be better. Don't get me wrong, it's not a hard game. 27 is Palace at home, but I'm not sure Man United at home for Man City is kind of any better than Palace at home for Spurs. Also, you'll get a bit more information from Spurs whether more teams will be blanking in these sort of game weeks. So for me, it's probably best to roll the transfer in this game week and have 2 transfers going into game week 28. So game week 28 is a double game week. So this sees you play 3 transfers for a -4. Kaminsky plays in goals. Why you brought him in for another double? Much better than the first double, don't get me wrong. Palace away and Bournemouth away. 2 away games, but 2 much better doubles than the first double in game week 25. Senesi does come in. So he comes in for Virgil van Dijk because Bournemouth do have that double against Sheffield United at home and Luton at home. Kufal plays against Burnley at home in this game week 2. Bailey, I've decided to start over Garnacho, but you can definitely start Garnacho in this game, to be honest. Everton at home for Garnacho, and Bailey has Tottenham at home. De Bruyne, Liverpool away, Haaland, Liverpool away. And then the transfer in is Son as well. So Son comes in for Villa away for Phil Foden, because Foden does have that Liverpool away game. Then Man City do blank in game week 29 if everything does go to plan in the FA Cup. Bowen has Burnley at home. Solanke comes in again with a double game week and a captain option for me. potential triple captain as well with this draft. Sheffield United at home, Luton at home, Watkins again, Spurs at home, and then Haaland with Liverpool away. So for me, you're getting 2 Bournemouth doubles, 2 Luton doubles, and you're getting a few more players for the blank game week with this strategy. We'll go into the blank game week 29, and hopefully you won't have to play your free hit, whereas other managers potentially will have to. So this game week is obviously the blank game week, and these are all predictions. So most of them are guaranteed. For example, Bournemouth, Brentford players, Aston Villa players, West Ham players, Tottenham players are all guaranteed, but Luton players are not guaranteed yet. It's only if Luton get beat by Man City in the FA Cup and Manchester United beat Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup that fixture will go ahead. So Forest again play Luton. So Luton have Forest at home with Doughty and Kaminsky. Pinnock, again, why I bought in Pinnock is because of this very good fixture in game week 29 against Burnley away. Pau Torres plays West Ham away, and obviously Kufal plays Villa at home. Not ideal to play each other. And then you've also got Bailey and Bowen that play each other. Richarlison comes in for De Bruyne, so that saves you a bit of money and allows you to go from Solanke to Ivan Toney, who has Burnley away. So, and then you've also got Watkins with West Ham away up front. So this really is probably the best team you can build. Potentially someone like Pedro Porro instead of Kufal could be a nice option, but for me it's probably not worth taking a hit for. I think you've got the main culprits in here. You've got 2 Spurs, you've got Ivan Toney, you've got Watkins, you've got a Villa defender. For me, I think you're pretty much covered for game week 29, and by playing the wildcard that earlier, it allows you a few transfers to get into the groove and get players for this blank game week, and also capitalize on Bournemouth and Luton's double game week. That was it for this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think this is a good wild card, and is the strategy foolproof? Let me know in the comment section below. If you are new to the channel, please make sure you do subscribe. It's completely free. It really does help me out. I'm trying to hit 2K before the end of the season, so I do think we can do that. And yeah, without your subscribe, I won't be able to. So please make sure you do hit that subscribe button. And let's try and hit 50 likes for this video. And good luck for the game week. Cheers.